Field, where tonight one of the top high school games in the area will take place. A beautiful night here in Santa Rosa at Bailey Field, and Hillsburg and Cardinal Newman get set to finish.
2 linebackers and 5 defensive backs. And that's essentially what Miami did. They had 2 defensive linemen.
The leader for the Hillsburg squad, number 10, Rich Thomas, the quarterback. And it seems like year in and year out, Hillsburg puts a guy on the field that can play quarterback, something other teams have had a hard time doing in this area.
Well, I attribute that a lot to Tommy Kirkpatrick, who was a great quarterback at Santa Rosa High School and here at the junior college and on at a 4-year college. He knows how to teach quarterbacks. Year after year, as you say. Now, Thomas had to wait his turn. Last year, Bogarski was the best quarterback in the area by far, so Thomas moves over and plays tight end all year long. After a great undefeated season as a sophomore. I watched their JV team last year. I thought it was the best JV quarterback I'd seen in years. And obviously, I don't know his name, but he has to wait now while Thomas does his thing. Kirkpatrick has made quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. And I don't think that's an accident. I think that's good coaching. And as you say, it's been a long time since we've even thought about Healdsburg with even a halfway average quarterback.
For Cardinal Newman tonight, they'll be trying to stop him, and of course he's got one of the best wide receivers in the area in Jeff Burchett, but Cardinal Newman has been a very tough team to score on. The only team they lost this year, they only gave up 10 points, and in talking with Coach Monahan before the game, they said they'd like to be able to hold Hillsburg under 14. Do you think that's a realistic goal coming in?
I don't know. It's hard to say. It was, this game last year ended up 13-11, and they were high-scoring teams, both of them. But defense was the key, and the Cardinal Newman defense made the big play, the turnover that stopped the Healdsburg drive and won the game for them. Could be the same way again. They are an outstanding team. But as you say, Burchett is just unbelievable. Last year, I couldn't believe the things he did. He's not that big, but he skies, he catches everything. He does some amazing things after the ball. He is truly, he's the Jerry Rice, in my mind, of the high school scene. He is so much fun to watch. There's no way that you can leave him out there with one receiver. I'm not sure what their plan is tonight, but it's kind of interesting. You see right here on the screen, Burchett he's leading the area in receiving, and you see how much further ahead he is than some of the others. And the 2 leading receivers from Cardinal Newman, Dix and Vera, they add up just about the same as what Burchett gets.
So tonight, a terrific matchup between 2 of the top-ranked teams in the Redwood Empire. Should be an exciting night of football. Stay with us. We'll be back for the opening kickoff in just a moment.
Early fall means harvest in Sonoma County. At Food for Less, fresh fruits and vegetables fill our bins to over.
Before 2 of the top teams in the area, and there you see where they are right now in terms of the Empire rankings and their records. So doesn't get much better than this as far as Red Empire football.
No, these are two of the very best teams, as I say, 2 of the top 4. And you can see here the points per game. The Hillsborough offense is obviously more potent. Cardinal Newman has those stats are a little bit distorted because they kind of got quite a few points last ball game that rose those up. But you can see that the defenses are very stingy, and we've said this over and over again. The defense is what wins, and these are 2 teams that have consistently played great defense.
You think of Hillsburg as a passing team, and they come in with some real good numbers. Rich Thomas has done a good job, but the rushing statistics are very interesting. As we see right here, Plumley and Black are 2 of the top rushers in the Redwood Empire here with their 4-game totals.
Well, one of these things that has always impressed me is that year after year, and we watch these different teams play, and I felt like Healdsburg probably has the very best, well-organized program, and I'm not putting any down, but it just seems like he does what he has. If he's got a great quarterback, he throws the ball a great deal. He mixes the offense up better than almost anybody else, and as you say, we think of a passing team, and here is Thomas is leading the area in passing, but as you say, they also do a great job running.
Now getting set for our national anthem, which will be played by the band from Cardinal Newman High School tonight.
was interested.
Jimi Hendrix lives
I've never
here at Bailey Field.
I have never, ever heard the national anthem played on a guitar before.
We'll have to get you a copy of the Jimi Hendrix version from Woodstock, Paul. I can see that.
Fantastic.
Believe that Hillsburg has won the toss. They deferred their choice to the second half, so Cardinal Newman will be receiving the opening kickoff. And for them, the offense has been very interesting this year, very steady. Nothing flashy. They're not going to come at you with a whole lot of different things, but they do the job, keep their defense off the field as much as possible. And there's been some guys that have really emerged offensively for them. Joe Johnson last week had over 100 yards rushing against El Molino. He's not starting tonight, but I imagine we'll see him in the lineup. And Mark Vera, the tight end, had 2 big catches in there, come from behind win over Washington. Tremendous game. They came back in the fourth quarter to win that one.
I was watching that game, and their offense, as you said, was kind of sputtering around. All of a sudden, what appeared that they weren't able to pass very well, he came up and threw half a dozen passes right on the money, and Vera made 2 or 3 outstanding catches. And so, as you say, it hasn't been flashy, but it certainly has been productive enough. And let's see what they can do against Hillsburg tonight.
There you see head coach Ed Monahan standing next to his quarterback, Don Graff, number 14, getting ready to go here, and was at the campus today over Cardinal Newman, and believe me, everyone is looking forward to this football game tonight.
Both teams are. I talked to Tommy Kirkpatrick out there, and I was just saying, I said, how things going? He said, well, we're really looking forward to this game. He says, because we're really not sure how good we are, and this will be a great test for us. And so their team is looking forward to it, too.
Gabe Aguilar gets set to kick off for Hillsburg, dropping back deep. Jamon Hurd, number 24, along with Cletus Coffey, the speedster. They're at about the 10-yard line to receive tonight's opening kickoff. And we're underway from Bailey Field. Low kick will get all the way back to Hurd at about the 17-yard line. Tripped up. Good job by Scott Rattlefinger to take Hurd down at about the 30-yard line, and that's where Cardinal Newman will start offensively tonight. Here's how their offense looks. Don Graff, number 14, is the quarterback. Jamon Hurd and Mike Mason are the running backs. The wide receivers are Enoch Dix and Cletus Coffey. The tight end is Mark Vera. The tackle is Dan Nielsen. The other tackle, Jerry Williams. The center, Tom Dunlap. The guards are Jason Bowman and Tim Welter. Graff with split backs, gives it straight up the middle to Hurd, and the Hillsburg defense does a great job on the first play to stop Hurd. Here's how the Greyhounds look on defense. Jason Gett is the strong safety. Scott Rattlefinger is the defensive back. Jeff Burchett is the free safety. Jason Goff is the defensive back. Chris Van Doren is the linebacker. Judd Plumley, Joe Pena, and Jesse Werney are the other linebackers. Rich Olson is the tackle. The nose guard is Tom Bumgarner, and the other tackle is Tim Muzzin. Great job on the first play by Hillsburg, Paul. Cardinals now put Hurd out in a slot. They pitch it out to Jeff Woods. Woods turns the corner and has a first down. Good blocking up front.
The very first play, Hillsburg was in an even front, and they tried to come up the middle, as you called it. There was no place to go, led by all those linebackers. This time they were an odd man front, and as you can see, the little quick toss out here, and they just found a seam. Looks like people around, but it comes right up untouched, right all the way to the corner. Last man, and made a tackle, and for the first down of the ball game.
Cardinals are up to the 42-yard line. Mark Vera shifting. And now going in motion is Cletus Coffey to give up the middle as a penalty marker goes down. Right there for the tackle is Jerry Williams, number 50 for the Greyhounds. Hurd got maybe a yard out of that, but there is a flag down. Looks like it's going to be against the Cardinals.
There's the illegal procedure with the motion, and they get a feeling here that they're just simply trying to see what's kind of happening. They try one inside, we would come around the corner on the outside. Next one, they run a little action. It'll be kind of interesting to see what happens with that action. As the man in motion went across, Hillsburg didn't even flinch. They didn't even look at him. I don't know, maybe Newman will try to do something with that, or or maybe Healdsburg will react a little better this next time.
1st and 15 for the Cardinals. Dix goes wide to the far side. Coffey to the near side. Plumlee showing blitz. He does. Graff ends up keeping it himself and picks up a couple of yards. But once again, a good job up front for the Greyhounds.
Healdsburg showed him a pretty good-sized gap up there, and I'm sure that wasn't a called play. I'm sure that he came up and he saw this big hole and figured that he could make something out of it. And as he took off, it was just white shirts just filled in like crazy. You can see they coming from all sides. Jesse Wern and Tom Bunninger and Chris Van Doren, they just all collapsed in on top of him for a very short game.
2nd and 13 now for the Cardinals. Perhaps our first passing situation of the night for them. Graff looking over the defense. And again, the Greyhounds showing blitz from Plumlee. Draw. And not much there. Great tackle by number 32, Chris Van Doren, to take down the ball carrier, Chad Peroy, number 27.
So far in this series, Van Doren has played the middle linebacker, and he's played it like we think of middle linebackers it should be. He's been on every play. As if he didn't make the first hit, he was right there making the hit. They protect him very well, and he flows right to the ball. They actually sent 2 linebackers, but they weren't in a blitz situation. They were just into the uncovered lineman. They hit him and reacted off like extra linemen is what it boiled down to.
3rd and 11 for the Cardinals. Graff. Short drop. Looks for Dix. Dix has it. Looking for the first down. He's got it. Great move by Enoch Dix. Moving out there on Jason Goff, and he picks up 12 yards and a Cardinal first down.
That's just what you call a stop pattern. You take off like you're trying to get all the way to the end zone as fast as you possibly can, and you come to a stop at about 7 yards. And you can see on the replay, Goff is just coming back off the thing because he starts retreating, and when the guy stopped, he tried to plant his feet, and they went out from underneath him. He went down to the ground. That's why there was so much area. Dix took the pass and make a nice cut outside and got the first down on a long yardage situation.
For Dix, that's his 10th reception on the year. He's caught a couple of touchdowns for the Cardinals, and he's just a junior. I formation now for the Cardinals at the 46. Give to Hurd straight up the middle, and he picks up 2, maybe 3, before he's taken down by the linebacker, Chris Van Doren, once again.
That was really a nice push. That time now the Newman line just shoved him back, just like the rugby scrum. They pushed the line of scrimmage back. There wasn't a place to run. Healdsburg didn't give him any seams, but the whole thing went forward about 3-4 yards, as we see here. First time they tried up the middle, that wasn't the case.
Cardinals are big up front. A lot of 200-pounders on the line for Cardinal Newman. Counter, give up the middle, and pretty good push ahead that time. Not a big gain, but it's going to be 3rd and short for the Cardinals. Ball carrier was number 34, Josh Hudson, and he picks up about 6 yards.
Somebody in there made a great trap block, and it came from quite a ways away. I would assume it's a tackle, but it came from the offside and came down and trapped inside, and he was able to come underneath that trap. You could hear the pop all the way up here. I'd like to see who that was. It was a great hit.
Third and 2. Healdsburg with a lot of people on the line right here. Pitch out. Woods cuts inside, and it's going to be very close. The Healdsburg crowd says no, he didn't get there. Plumlee with some help from Pena on the stop.
I think he did get to the line. Oh, they didn't give him the spot he got, but it is a first down.
Here it is again.
You can see they were all in tight, as you called, and then they pitched it out. Kind of an interesting third and yard call. This has been just a methodical, if not sensational, just keeps moving the sticks. I think this is the 3rd, 4th first down in this particular drive.
This is definitely what they want to do, and I really believe that if they can get the early lead, they could be very tough tonight. If they have to come from behind, it might be a different story. 6:02 to go here in the first period. Cardinals at the Healdsburg 35. Draw to Woods. Woods working the left side and gets about 4 yards.
That's probably
He's taken down by Van Doren.
That's probably the best they've played that play. That's the first time it went to the left side. That's the play that they've been getting, and it still made 5 yards, 5-6 yards. It's a play in which they're taking the tackle outside, and then they're cutting underneath him, and they've been getting great yards.
$5:29 to go now. 2nd and 5. Dive play and a pickup of about 3. Hudson, the ball carrier that time, and he has another good gain, so it's going to be 3rd and short for the Cardinals. Third and a short, too. They need to get to just about the 25-yard line. Size up front for Cardinal Newman already starting to come into play. And a clutch pass on 3rd down from Graff to Dix has kept this drive alive. Whistle blows. And may have been some movement up front for Hillsburg.
People are clapping. I assume that means it was. We couldn't see who, but somebody from Hillsburg came across. In high school, all you got to do is break the plane. If you don't touch anybody, or if you don't break it very far, if you break the plane, which means the line that runs across the football, that's an immediate whistle blow, end of play, 5-yard penalty.
So the 4th first down on this drive for Cardinal Newman. One back, Peroy behind Graff. The pitch is to Peroy. He's got some blocking out front, but a great job from Hillsburg to collapse on the play. Number 71, Rich Olson, did a great job. It looked like he had some room out there, Paul.
Well, when he took off, as you call it, I thought that was going to be a big play. I thought in my mind, they've been pounding him inside, and here's a toss outside. They're going to make some real money. And Hillsburg came in a hurry. You called Rich Olson, but I'll tell you, he had a lot of help. There was 4 or 5 guys on that. It's hard to see it, but watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys right there, 6 right behind. Actually, the first hit was Jason Goff coming up from his corner position.
Flag goes down in the backfield. And this one looks like it's going to go against Cardinal Newman. Not sure what the call was.
Too much time, I believe. Oh, no, they show an illegal procedure, so it wasn't too much time. I'm not sure what happened unless the center or somebody moved the ball, but they gave me an illegal procedure, and they hadn't even got up to the line yet, so I'm not sure what they did for that.
It's going to make it 2nd and about 14 for the Cardinals. Now in at wide receiver is Dustin Fry, number 17, and he comes out wide to the near side. Dix is at the far side. Vera moves into his tight end position, and Fry goes in motion. Graff has trouble with the snap, and I believe he landed on it himself. Still no signal from the officials. It is going to be 3rd down.
It's he was the only one that was able to see it. Do you realize there's only 3 minutes left in this period? Hillsburg hasn't even touched the ball yet. One of the things that obviously a team like Cardinal Newman wants to do on a day like this is have ball control, because the Hillsburg's offense is so explosive that at any given time, like last week, they were nothing in the 3rd quarter with Santa Rosa, and Burchett hit a 77-yard play, and all of a sudden, bang, they're out in front. This is the longest drive, time-wise, I can ever remember. I mean, it's 3rd and down now. But it's about 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Big play right here. Coffey comes out wide to the near side. Hurd goes into a slot on the far side. Draw play to Peroy, and he gets back up to about the 21-yard line after a pickup of 4.
The guy that really stopped that play was Judd Plumley. He came through there, I assume, on a blitz because he is a linebacker. We couldn't see from the angle. He was right there while they were trying to make that handoff. It was a draw, but he had to go around this linebacker who's in that way, and the whole thing was no good. So now they're lining up to see if they can get 3 points out of this. This is a 40-yarder. This is a long high school field goal.
And talking with Coach Monahan before the game, he said David Wisely could be our secret weapon tonight. Here he is on to try a 40-yard kick. Does he have the distance? Yes, it's good! David Wisey gives the Cardinals the lead after an 13-minute drive.
No, it's only 12-minute high school.
Excuse me, an 11-minute drive.
Right, but still, that's a long time. That's hard to believe.
So Cardinal Newman takes the early lead 3-0. We'll take a break, and we'll be back after this.
Pretty. Really pretty.
People.
Finally gets a chance to touch the ball. Plumlee gets it out to the 25-yard line. Impressive drive for Cardinal Newman. 48 yards. They racked up 10 minutes and 18 seconds. The break gave me a little time to do some math. But really an impressive drive, and they lead it 3-0.
Now we'll see. Now we'll get our first chance to see the Healdsburg offense in action.
Here's how they'll look offensively. Rich Thomas is the quarterback. Judd Plumlee and Ron Black are the running backs. Scott Rattlefinger and Jeff Burchett, the wide receivers. The tight ends is Chris Van Doren. Matt Bakatich is the center. Glenn Dobb is the guard, along with Jeremy Gieslin, Tim Muzzin, and Jesse Werney are the tackles. First play from scrimmage is a give to Plumlee, and he's hit immediately and dropped by the Cardinals. Not much there.
It's reminiscent of the first play by Cardinal Newman. They tried one in the center and it went almost nowhere, and now Healdsburg tried one in the center and it went almost nowhere. Wonder if that means it's the start of an 11-minute drive here too.
The defense for Cardinal Newman, Jeff Woods is the strong safety. Todd Henley is the safety. Joe Johnson and Cletus Coffey are the defensive backs. Jamon Hurd, Mike Mason, Clay Mortson, and Jason Fowler are the linebackers. Ben Gieslin and Dan Nilsson are the tackles, and the nose tackle is Dan O'Connor. 2nd and 9 now for Healdsburg. Fake to Plumlee. The first pass of the night is tipped up front by the Cardinals. Jason Fowler blitzing from his linebacker position, and House's first pass is incomplete.
I was fascinated to watch the way Newman has decided to try to play Burchett. They put Jeff Woods out on him man for man with a safety behind, and that makes it pretty tough. He's going to have to work hard to get open. In the very first play, there was contact all the way down. The second play, Burchett just leveled him while the pass was going on the other side. That'll be fun to watch, even though we can't see it.
Penalty marker goes down, and they're pointing towards number 71, and that's Ben Gleason, the tackle for Cardinal Newman. He may have crossed the line of scrimmage. Dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Real interesting. Something must have been said, because that's a 15-yarder and a first down for Healdsburg. These teams don't particularly like each other, and right there the emotions may have got the better of the Cardinals.
That was really strange. As you said, I don't know when that could have happened. Actually, I thought he was pointing back to the cornerback. I'm not sure who he was even pointing at, but it was a strange play, as you said. Though the timing was what was so strange.
So the Greyhounds now have it at the 45-yard line. Rattlefinger comes out wide to the near side. Burchett to the far side. Rattlefinger takes the pass at the 50 and gets 7 yards before he's dropped by Peroy.
That's that little stop pattern. Actually, if Cardinal Newman is intent on putting two people on Burchett, then these other receivers, Rattlefinger and the tight end Van Oort, should have a bigger ball game. He just ran a stop, caught the ball, got us 7 yards, and it's already the end of the first quarter as we just hear the horn.
So the first period comes to a close with Cardinal Newman leading it 3-0. Again, it was an impressive drive for It's not a one or two man show with Thomas and Burchett, so it is going to be interesting to see if the double coverage allows some other guys from Healdsburg to have big nights tonight, as you mentioned.
It's kind of interesting. I don't know if the size of the families or what, but I don't know if I've ever recalled seeing so many names on the Healdsburg roster that I've seen before. They obviously have to be brothers and stuff and family members. In fact, Rattlefinger was an example I thought of. Shane Rattlefinger graduated 2 years ago, an outstanding cornerback and wide receiver, and they seem to, I keep thinking about, now he couldn't still be there. That must be a brother or something like that.
So we're ready to start the second period. Healdsburg is faced with 2nd and about 3 for the first down. They need to get to the 45 of Cardinal Newman. Black is in a slot. They've been using a one-back formation much of the night. Pitch out to Plumlee. Picks up a block, cuts in, has a first down to the 40-yard line, taken down by number 80, Todd Henley, and number 84, Jason Fowler.
Jeremy Gieslin's number 75, the guard for Healdsburg, came out and just laid a terrific block, pulling in front of Plumlee. Then Plumlee used that block to perfection, ran through another tackle for a big first down. It was a beautiful play. I think they've decided to try to spread the Newman defense out since, as you say, they are a little bit bigger.
Plumlee, left side, pickup of 8. Great dive by Plumlee and good blocking again for the Greyhounds.
This time was the same play to left side. This time was Glenn Dodd, 66, leading it. He made just as pretty a block as Gieslin had on the one before that. Those are very, very pretty plays, but they're spreading them out. They're using the whole field from sideline to sideline.
Defensive coordinator for Cardinal Newman is Dennis Bruno, and he's probably had a real interesting week this week trying to figure out what to do. The Cardinals are going to take a timeout right here and talk about it a little bit. And we'll take this opportunity to hear a message from one of our sponsors. We'll be right back.
The early
Nice to see here at the high school level.
It really is. When you go to a Healdsburg game, you either have to plan on standing or get there early because every seat in that place is going to be full, and it's kind of nice. And they just come up the freeway. It's a beautiful night. I mean, it's shirt sleeve weather completely. In fact, you kind of would like to have a fan out here for a little bit. And as you saw during the national anthem, the flag just hung. It didn't even wiggle. It looked like maybe it wasn't even alive. But so we have a good crowd on both sides, and now we're back to action here.
2nd and 3. They spotted it as a 7-yard gain for Plumlee. See what Cardinal Newman is doing differently, if anything, defensively. Thomas sends Black in motion. Give to Plumlee straight up the middle. Not much there. First man on the scene is Clay Moritzen, the linebacker.
That wasn't really a good play as it turned out because Newman went down to what they call a bear defense, which means they put their big 3 on the guard, center, guard. When you're down, they got pretty good down 3, and when they're covering guard, center, guard, when you're trying to go right up the middle, that's not a good play. Interesting thing happened, though, as Black did go in motion. Nobody from Newman moved. Maybe Tommy will see if he wants to do something with that.
3rd and 3, big play. Plumlee, right side, cuts in, and it's going to be a little bit short, I believe. We'll wait for the spot, but a good hit by the Cardinals. Moritzen was there,
great
along
hit
with
by
Woods.
Middle linebacker Clay Mortensen. He came over from the inside out and just put a real sticky. The back Plumlee had come up, just cut underneath the block and looked like it was going to be a big play, and bang, right there you saw him. He just put him down. It wasn't going anyplace else. That makes an interesting 4th and about 1 yard call here for the Greyhounds. They're a little bit out of field goal range. They're going to go for it.
Cardinals defense digging in. 9:53 to go, 2nd period. Plumlee, he's got it easily. Good blocking up front. And the Greyhounds have their 3rd first down of the drive after a pickup of 3.
That was really a nice surge by the offensive line. They set up with a 3-back offense. They call it a power I offense with a fullback behind the center and a back behind the tackle and a man behind the fullback. Just gave it to the deepest man with the whole line and the 2 backs leading it. You can see the surge coming off. They really came right behind number 75 and 52. It was a great shot.
They're at the Cardinal 27-yard line. Fake to Plumlee. Looking deep for Burchett. In and out of his hands. Enoch Dix came over on defense, but the ball was there, and the Cardinals dodge a bullet.
Well, obviously that ball was to Burchett, and he was sort of open. Dix stole it away from him. They also had 44 Black out in the flat, and it was a great play by Dix. I'm sure that Burchett thought he was going to get that one.
Draw to Plumlee. Not a thing there. Good defense by the Cardinals. Jamon Hurd, along with Dan Nielsen, make the hit.
Dan Nielsen was right there spying at that draw out. It looked like it might be a play, and he just stopped it right there. Then Hurd from the inside and Fowler from the outside, it came right down on him for literally no gain.
Nielsen at 6'5", 255. He's a senior, and he's been the guy who is the veteran on the line. He was part of that great defensive line last year for the Cardinals, and he's really had a good season. The ball pops loose, but flags fall. May have been some movement offensively that's going to back up Hillsburg.
Actually, I'm not sure the ball was ever snapped. The quarterback came out and the receivers ever went, and the center, I think, missed the count, because that's why it wasn't a fumble. It never got snapped. He was still waiting there.
So this is going to make it 3rd and long, and certainly a passing situation right here for the Greyhounds. We've seen the Cardinals blitz a few times. It'll be interesting to see if they try to bring somebody right here, go back into more of a prevent style. They need to get to about the 18-yard line. Thomas straight back, looking over the middle for Black. He's there, 1st down. Inside the 10, it's going to be 1st and goal, Hillsburg.
Obviously, they did a really nice job that time. What happened is that Burchett went out to the side. Woods covered him up tight, and Dix was deep behind him. Obviously going to take away the number 1 receiver for Hillsburg. Black in the seam went right up the seam, and you can see that he went right between Dix and Henley, the 2 safeties, and caught the ball for a big gain.
23-yard pickup for Hillsburg. Thomas is 2 of 4 here in the early going. Black cutting to the outside and taken down at about the 5.
Black was one of the more impressive runners I saw last year. He not necessarily one of the big names. Hillsburg had some great names, and there were some other runners in the area, but when we watched them play a couple of times, he just got the job done. Right there, he started off tackle, turned on his speed, broke outside right there, and got himself about 5-6 more yards. It's 2nd and goal about the 3-4 yard line.
Thomas now wants a timeout, as he wasn't sure about what was going on, and the Greyhounds trying to punch it in right here. Want to make sure that everything is straightened out, and that's going to bring Tom Kirkpatrick out to take a look at things in the huddle right here. It's going to be an interesting series right here, because Cardinal Newman's strength is their defensive line and the guys up front, and we're in kind of a goal line situation here, Paul.
They really are. This is a long drive also. It's really kind of funny. This one's lasted, I don't know, we don't have the time things in front of us, but this has been almost a 7-minute drive. That's an unheard of long drive in high school, and the first one for Newman was even longer. So we're seeing really great ball control. Obviously, ball control comes about from a situation of good offenses going against really good defenses, which will bend but not break to the big plays.
So the Cardinals are backed up to their own 4-yard line on defense. They've only given up 7.7 points per game this year, but the Greyhounds are knocking on the door here, trying to take the lead. 7:24 to go here in the 2nd period. Black gets away from one man, cuts inside, and is stopped. Good job on defense by Cardinal Newman. Maybe a gain of about 1, and that's it.
2 great plays there. In a sense, Cardinal Newman had him stopped for a loss. Black was able to run out of tackle right here. He ran out of that tackle, got back at least to the line of scrimmage, and Newman had that thing covered. Hillsburg was in an unbalanced line that time, and then they set a man in motion and went to the short side. They had the unbalance to the left side.
3rd and goal for the Greyhounds. Play action. Thomas looking to throw to Plumlee. Touchdown, Hillsburg.
Okay, one of the toughest things to do on defense is cover a back out of the backfield. He's the number 3 man. You see him coming. There's a little crossbuck action. He comes in between the tackle and the end, and he slips out of there, and it's very, very hard for a defensive end to see him, pick him up, and then if you have time to throw it, he ran a play action, and he bootlegged it around and found him with a perfect strike to even this game up.
Aguilar on to add the point after. Thomas will hold. kick is right through the middle. And the Greyhounds, with 6:39 to go here in the second period, have taken the lead. We'll be right back with a kickoff. Flushed out of the pocket, has time to throw. Looking deep, guy is wide open. He's got it at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Sonoma State. To hustle and get off a shot. He does. We're going to overtime. Unbelievable basket. Watch the best in local sports action every Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at 8 p.m. Only on Post Newsweek Cable, Channel. Kick is taken by Cletus Coffey at the 10. He's got some room. He can fly. There's a penalty marker down as Coffey gets all the way down to the Hillsburg 35. But look out, there's a flag all the way back at the Newman 25. That drive for Hillsburg was 14 plays, 72 yards. Great job by Rich Thomas to bring the Greyhounds down the field.
That wasn't an illegal block or a hold on Cardinal Newman. Back near the point where he caught the ball, not caught the ball, but first contact. You see Frank Wright there, the referee, making the call. You can't see in the replay where it might have came, but it was right there where he broke out of that first tackler's grasp. That's where the call was made, and that's going to move him back to about the 15-yard line.
Tough break for the Cardinals as they will start deep in their own territory. Dix wide to the near side, Coffey to the far side. Vera now moves into a power right formation. Give up the middle, and a pickup of about 4 yards for Jeff Woods.
Well, you see some really nice line play in there, both offensively and defensively. You see some great blocks and some great drive blocks. You also see some outstanding jobs on defense. And what you get out of that is a beautiful 4-yard play. Hillsburg's not allowing it to be bigger than that, and Newman's be able to make the yards.
Scott Kincaid now in at wide receiver for Cardinal Newman, number 81. Graff, short drop, Dix in and out of his hands. Would have been a first down, but he couldn't quite hang on.
You can almost give that incompletion credit to Tim Muzzin. He made charge out there at the left tackle, put both hands up. He's 6'6". His hands had to be 8 foot in the air. Watch his hand. Well, you couldn't see it on that replay. And the quarterback is seeing that, throwing it over, and he winds up throwing it over the top of Dix's head too. But that's a pretty big barrier you have to get over when you throw that direction.
3rd and 6 for the Cardinals. Mike Mason now in the backfield, number 25. Graff looking for Dix. Over his head. 4th down. Cardinals will have to punt.
That's a good thing for the Cardinal Newman. That ball is out of bounds because Rattlefinger had the line on that all the way. It was his ball or nobody's because he had a much better shot at it than did Dix, but that ball was out of bounds and he had no chance. Now, after we see an 11-minute drive, we come right back with three plays and 3 downs and out for the second one. I tell you, I am really impressed with Hillsburg's defense. I have been every time I watch him. Not necessarily how they're playing because they're playing outstanding, but I can't figure out what they're doing. If I was an offensive coach, they would drive me nuts. They're bouncing around. They're running over here. He's lining up here. Then he's over there. About the time that the tackle and the guard realizes who he's blocking, then there's somebody else he should be blocking. I don't know how a high school team handles what Hillsburg does.
Burchett takes Wisely's punt and returns it 7 yards to the 46-yard line of Cardinal Newman. So the Greyhounds will have good field possession here on their second offensive possession.
They still have plenty of time. Obviously, 5 minutes left in this to half to try to add to their score. This is a time where Newman's got to stiffen up and see if they can stop him. Now, Hillsburg showed this last possession they can stop Cardinal Newman. Now it's time for Cardinal Newman to see if they can do it, return the favor, so to speak.
Jeff Burchett did not catch a pass in Hillsburg's first drive. See if Thomas goes to him here. Play action. Looking for Burchett. Did he hang on? Yes, unbelievable catch.
Now for him, that's not an unbelievable catch for him. I'm telling you, you will see the very best high school or any catches from that man. Every game I've ever seen him, he catches the ball. He got blasted. If you see that again, what you're going to see, he's got bent backwards in two, and any normal person would drop that ball. But Jeff Burchett just caught it, and that's a big gain for Hillsburg.
Pickup of 12. Cletus Coffey couldn't jar the ball loose. Plumlee, not much there. Nielsen pulls him down from behind. Gleason from the front, and it's about a 2-yard pickup.
Hillsburg is running 3 backs. Here's the catch by Burchett, if we can see. Just after he catches the ball, bang, you see his head snap back. You see his shoulder pad snap back, but what you saw was the ball still in his hands as he went down. He's a tremendous receiver.
4:09 and ticking. Second period. Burchett goes in motion now. Thomas looks for him on the outside, but throws it a little high. Penalty marker goes down near the line of scrimmage.
I believe that's going to be illegal procedure. I don't think Burchett was his action, I think, was illegal. Yeah, it's illegal procedure. What happened was the 2 men went out there, and Burchett lined up on the line, and it should have been the other guy. Then when he went in motion, I'll tell you what, though, if you want to free your best receiver, you put him in motion because it's very difficult to cover. If you watch like the Niners, when Jerry Rice gets the open, it's because when he first was in motion. That time he was completely open. Newman didn't cover that, but there was a mix-up between Thomas and Burchett. One expected to go up the field, and the other one cut it on and out. But he truly was open. They declined the penalty, by the way.
Another whistle, but the play is still going. I heard whistles on the field, and some of the players even started to hold up. The pass was incomplete.
There was a whistle somewhere. Either it came out of the stands or it came from the field, because there was no question about there's being a whistle. Everybody heard the whistle. In fact, Frank Wright is heading over towards the stands. Apparently it came from the stands. They don't have it. He's calling timeout. He's going to go over and see somebody. Somebody up there has it. Someone on the sidelines is pushing. They can't do anything about it except ask them, please do not do that.
Will they give them Hillsburg a down over?
No. It's just like an inadvertent whistle the other way. It's too bad, but it's nothing. It's too bad sometimes when people in the stands who have nothing to do with the ball game have an effect upon what happens in the ball game. But there's not much they can do about that, except to ask the people, please do not do that anymore, and have maybe an official of the school try to talk to whoever had the whistle. Probably nobody knows. It's somebody up there.
Coach Tom Kirkpatrick is not happy about this on the sideline. He's going to have a talk with the officials because it's going to be 4th down. You see, Tommy Kirkpatrick is very hot right now.
Well, in one respect, he has with a whistle, most of the people stopped. There's no question about that. That's not the discussion. What the officials can do about it is the fact that they can't do anything, except soothe him and say, I'm sorry.
So 4th and 10, it looks like the Greyhounds are going to go for it right here. And now Tommy Kirkpatrick is going to come out, call timeout, and talk things over with his quarterback, Rich Thomas, who seems a little bit upset by the call himself. And this is a good move by Tommy to calm down the offense.
Absolutely. What he's got to do is they've got 4th down, so they're either going to make this play or they're not. And they can't have people who are angry about what happened the play before.
So we'll take a quick break here, and we'll be back with this very big 4th down play after this.
You're watching PNC Channel 21, a service of Post Newsweek Cable in Santa Rosa.
We're back. No, that is not Coach Tom Kirkpatrick, but somebody getting into the Halloween spirit a little bit early. There's Tom. Nice to see the crowd out here tonight, Paul. Really a big crowd, and that's something that we haven't seen too much of except for big games like this.
It's too bad. I think a lot of people are missing a lot of fun, but it really is true that it's nice to see the stand so full.
So they've got things straightened out now. The Hillsburg Greyhounds are out of their huddle, and we're ready. 4th and 10. Black in motion. Thomas with pressure. Flips it out, complete, but is it a first down? It's going to be close. Defense was by Todd Henley, and the catch was by Chris Van Dorn, the tight end. It's going to be a first down. Clutch play.
That play is very similar to the one that they scored a touchdown on. Except that's a tight end, isn't it? I'm wrong on that. But they sent Black in motion to spread it out. But I'll tell you, Thomas was rushed. Two Carl Newman men were right in his face. He was just able to get that over.
Another clutch pass play by Thomas. 3:30 and ticking. Plumlee looking to get outside, breaks a couple tackles, and is going to go down inside the 5. Great saving tackle by Coffey as a marker goes down very late. This is going to be an interesting call.
I think somebody just hit him late, but it's only going to be a half the distance, so it's only going to be about a two-yard penalty. Someone hit him late. That was an outstanding run by Plumlee, and also some good blocking. If you could see the seam, what you saw is him running into what appeared to be a whole bunch of bodies. And all of a sudden he came out the other side. Look at that, and then out he comes. And then he heads down, and it was a hit. Oh, that's kind of a cheap call. I'm sorry, Mr. Official. You could have let that one go. A guy was sliding down and staying away. But it didn't make too much difference. It's going to be about a 1 yard, maybe a yard and a half penalty.
Mike Mason saved the touchdown right there for Cardinal Newman. And the Cardinals defense will have their work cut out for them once again. 1st and goal at the 2. 17-yard pickup for Plumlee. Thomas maybe audibleizing right here. Looking for Burchett. He's got it. Touchdown, Hillsburg. He lobs it up, and Burchett takes it away from Coffey. And Thomas has driven the Greyhounds down the field once again. And they lead it 13-3.
That was kind of interesting because Coffey lined up on him, and then at the snap, almost like he knew what was going to happen, Coffey moved outside. And if Burchett had cut a slant inside, he'd been wide open. I thought it was a crazy play, but instead, that was what Burchett was doing. He was in perfect position. Burchett leaped up, turned around, caught the ball, brought it down, and just routine catch for Mr. Burchett.
Aguilar's kick is good. It's 14-3 Hillsburg with 2:49 to go. Second period. We'll be back with a kickoff after this.
You've got your own taste, your own kind of style. There's no one like you can do what you do with that smile. What do you say, what do you say?
At Burger King, we don't serve billions. We serve individuals.
Your way, right away. At Burger King now. Your way, right away. At Burger King. What do you say?
Tonight's game is sponsored by Farmers Lane Foods, with Burger King locations on Mendocino Avenue, Farmers Lane, and Santa Rosa Avenue. Stop by tonight and get it your way right away.
See a very subdued Cardinal Newman crowd right now as their Cardinals trail 14-3, and they've only got 2:49 to go here in the first half. Aguilar's kicks down to Hurd to reverse. Ball's loose. Cardinals have it. Coffey tried to take the reverse handoff. That's a play we saw last year the Cardinals run against Pittsburgh in the playoffs, but it didn't work tonight.
Somebody hit him just at the time and kind of put them together, and the ball went on the ground. You can see this reverse here. Right there, Rattlefinger's right on it. It's like you could see it coming, and he hit it just at the time the ball went free. Actually, Cardinal was pretty lucky that Healdsburg didn't fall on it right there.
So the Cardinals are at the 21. Their own 21. Clock ticking down, under 2:20 now. Woods on the draw, not much there. Gets about a yard, and that's it. Good defense up front by Bumgarner, number 62, with help from Rich Olson, number 71.
There's some outstanding play going on out there. That was a little counter play like the old Washington Redskins counter tray with the off guard and tackle pulling, and he fakes one way and comes back, and boy, Healdsburg was having no part of that. They stopped it for virtually no gain.
Dix out wide to the near side. Give up the middle to Hudson, and he gets about one before he's stopped by number 50, Joe Pena, the linebacker.
Well, I'll tell you, there's some outstanding defensive play up there. You can just see it on that replay where a defensive guy was just shedding blocks and holding his ground and taking on that stuff. They have been tough inside from the tackle to tackle, and I think part of that is what I alluded to. They're not in the same place twice. I'm sure that Newman's having trouble figuring out who should be blocked.
Third and 8 for the Cardinals. Less than a minute to go now in the second period. Graff to throw. Woods, the intended receiver, picked off by Rattlefinger at the 35. Taken down by Coffey at the 30. And the Greyhounds will get a chance to add to their lead with 48 seconds to go here in the half.
This would be a killer if Greyhounds could get a touchdown right here. And Newman has to really rise up, pass off the fact that they just turned the ball over and stop them before this game gets out of hand. That ball was not, I think it was thrown before Woods was ready for it.
So Healdsburg with a little bit of time on the clock, and they're going to take a timeout right here as the clock ticked down under 30 seconds. Didn't quite get up to the line in time, and they sense a penalty coming on there, so they take a timeout with just 29 ticks left on the clock. And with Thomas and Burchett on the field, that's enough time to get a score.
That's for sure. As you can see on the sideline, this is the Healdsburg sidelines, and everybody's just anticipating what might happen. Kirkpatrick's out in the huddle talking to his charges, and the whole Cardinal Newman team is over in front of their bench, and I'm sure that they're coming up with what they're going to do, how they're going to cover it, and what they're going to do.
It's been all Healdsburg so far tonight. The Cardinals took the opening kickoff and marched 48 yards, got a 40-yard field goal, from David Wisely. Then on the impending drive, the Healdsburg Greyhounds marched 72 yards, took the lead. Then after a punt, left them in good field position. They took it down again and scored. Thomas, a 2-yard pass to Burchett. That's where we stand, 14-3. An interception by Scott Rattlefinger has given the Greyhounds one last opportunity to score. And there you see head coach Ed Monahan pacing the sidelines, not looking real happy about this first half, Paul.
I'm sure he's real concerned to try to, for one thing, to stop him right here, but then he's still got a concern, how is he going to move the football?
Burchett. He's got it. His knee was down, but it is a pickup of about 8 yards. Or pickup of 13 yards. That's a first down.
It was a great route. He was bumped and held at the line of scrimmage, and then it was covered deep, and he just broke it off on a timed route. Ball was thrown before he cut.
No huddle offense now for the Greyhounds. Thomas for Burchett. Burchett will try to get out of bounds, and he doesn't. For some reason, with 13 seconds, they're going to have to hustle to get up to the line. Coach Kirkpatrick saying, why didn't you get out of bounds, Jeff? 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Thomas is going to have to try to ditch it. Will he get it off?
Nope.
Nope. The gun will sound, and the half will come to an end. So a big mistake by Burchett not to just get out of bounds after that short hitch pattern, but the Greyhounds lead it 14-3 at the half.
They may not have scored, but I'm sure they scared the heck out of Newman, and they're trying to figure out what are we going to do when we come back. This will be an interesting halftime talks to figure out where they are. Hillsburg has been extremely impressive. After that first long drive, they actually rose up, stopped the momentum, forced the field goal, and since that time, Cardinal Newman has no first downs.
14-3 the score at halftime. We'll take a quick break, be back with some halftime festivities and statistics after this.
People are the priceless resource that has made Food for Less the most successful independently owned and operated supermarket in Sonoma County. The entire Food for Less family is dedicated to providing the best service possible for our customers. Every month, we salute one of our outstanding staff members as Employee of the Month. This month's award goes to Luis Brajas. It's people like Luis who make the difference at Food for Less. Open 24 hours a day for your shopping convenience. Food for Less. Our name says it, our prices prove it.
If you'd take a star and put it next to a house, if you could, a star would be like 20 feet bigger than the house. When it's nighttime in our world, it's day in their world.
By providing 70% of all television designed for children, your local cable company is making sure there's more to kids' TV than Saturday morning.
If there was no gravity right now, you can jump all the way over those trees. All of them. Wow.
Back here at halftime, and great football game as we see the Greyhounds are now taking the field, much to the delight of their crowd, and they've really put on a good show. It's been some clutch passing by Rich Thomas, big plays they've needed, they've got, and they're in control of this football game right now at halftime.
They really are. There's, as we said, they've done everything they needed to do in that first half. Now, what makes me wonder is I sit and watched Cardinal Newman play Washington just 2 weeks ago, and at the same time, at this point, I thought Cardinal Newman had lost that ball game, and they came back and they shut off Washington, and they started mounting drives of their own and was able to come back.
There you see Jeff Burchett in the first half had 3 catches for 27 yards, and most of those coming on the last couple of drives for Hillsburg, but there was a couple other guys that had some catches out there. Black had one for 23 yards. Plumlee caught the touchdown for 3. There's the passing in the first half. Rich Thomas, 7 of 12, 70 yards, 2 TDs. And Graff for the Cardinals, only 1 of 4, 12 yards, and an interception.
This is reminds me of the Washington game. Graff hadn't thrown very much, and then he came out in the second half. I think he went 6 for 6 before he made a mistake. Not a mistake, before he made an incompletion, and still was able to hit those perfect passes in the end. I think we must have missed a reception by Burchett, because I can think of 4 right off the top of my head. The one he turned backwards, the touchdown pass, the 2 right before halftime. Maybe that's it, but I can think of at least 1 more. But anyhow, the point is, no big deal. But he's been very closely guarded, and he's still got 4 passes. There's a lot of high school receivers that don't get 4 passes in any game under any circumstance. As we said this before, we think this is an outstanding receiver. The captains are coming back out on the field. Hillsburg sends 5 out. Legally, they only put 3, so 2 have to stand back and 3 go forward. But still, they come back out for the coin toss here in the second half.
The total yardage, Hillsburg has 115 total yards. Cardinal Newman just 51, so they've doubled that output. 8 first downs for Hillsburg, 4 for Cardinal Newman. Again, doubling the offensive output. And Coach Monahan mentioned they'd like to hold Hillsburg under 14. Well, they're at 14, and it's only halftime, so that's a goal they won't achieve tonight.
They haven't forced Hillsburg to punt yet. Carl Newman got those 4 first downs, but they were the first 4 of the game, and then since that time they haven't been able to muster a first down. This has been a game with 2 exceptions, been a game of long drives that take a lot of time, and so we haven't had too much going back and forth. But what we haven't seen is a punt from Healdsburg yet.
The interesting thing for the Greyhounds is each time they got it down inside the 5, rather than try to punch it in, they threw for the touchdown. I believe we've got to look at the second touchdown from the first half, and we'll be taking a look at that. It was just a really nice touch pass from Thomas, and Burchett goes up one-on-one and takes it away from the defender.
This is called a fade pattern down here, where the guy just takes off and runs away from the the defender, and he throws it up in the air, and it's supposed to happen. Well, the defender played it perfectly. Burchett altered his pattern just a little bit, was able to just turn around and bring it down.
Healdsburg will start off with the football here in the second half, so right away we'll get a chance to see if Coach Monahan is going to come out with anything different defensively to try to shut down this Healdsburg offense. Getting set to kick off, David Wisely for the Cardinals, dropping back deep, Plumley and Black for Healdsburg. Black from the 12. Gets through the wedge in pretty good shape up to the 28-yard line, where Healdsburg will start off offensively.
I think that's almost the exact same spot they started off after the after the field goal by Carl Newman, about 28. On him going 72 yards on that drive. Let's see what, as you said, Carl Newman has in store, if they've changed anything or just trying to do it sharper.
Single coverage now on Burchett. Thomas pitches to Black. Black cuts inside, breaks a tackle, and picks up 6 yards before he's taken down by Todd Henley.
An outstanding lead block by Judd Plumley out there, and Black was able to run off that block and run through a tackle and made a nice gain on a first down.
When you look at the lines and the size, the Greyhounds are really outweighed by Cardinal Newman at just about every position. But right now, there's some guys really doing the job up front for Healdsburg. Plumley, first down and more. Trying to outrun Coffey, and he's taken down at the 30 by number 84, Jason Fowler. But a big pickup.
That was a neat play. Plumley went into this looked like a whole mass of bodies, and again he just emerged from the other side. And one of the interesting things, one of the people down there that chased him down was number 72, Dan Nielsen, at 6'5", 255. You'll notice he didn't exactly make the tackle, but he's right there. You'll see him right there. He makes the hit right there beside it. So he was moving.
35-yard pickup for Plumley. Healdsburg knocking on the door once again. Plumley tries to turn the corner and picks up another 5 yards.
It was an outstanding run. He bounced that stuff inside. It was closed off. He went outside, and he just threw his body out there for the last 2 or 3 yards. One of the things you see that the return, he bounces outside and he just gains yards. One of the things you mentioned is about the difference in size. While most high school players do lift weights in the off-season, I think that Healdsburg probably has the best off-season weight program of anybody out in the area. Their young men are probably as strong as any for their size.
Thomas to throw. Little bit of heat, and they get him. Good job up front by Ben Gleason with some help from Hurd.
He wanted to go to Burchett, and Burchett wasn't open. And as he looked back off of him, he couldn't find anyone else and didn't try to get back up to the line of scrimmage. He winds up losing about 7 yards. The referee has to call a time to get the shoulder pad back under for the Thomas. It's illegal to have your pads exposed. It's not a penalty. It's just have to stop and get them covered up again.
3rd and long now. Plumlee goes in motion. Thomas to throw, looking over the middle and a little bit behind Van Doren, or he was open and had a clear path to the end zone.
That motion by Plumlee, he pulled the corner out, and it left the tight end on the linebacker, who was no match for him. As you say, he was open, but Thomas just slightly overthrew him.
4 down territory for the Greyhounds. And this is where they made some really clutch plays on their first drive. Cardinals trying to get the football back right here with 9:10 to go. 3rd period action. Play action, good pressure. And Thomas has to throw it away. Fowler blitzing from his linebacker position. It looks like whatever the Cardinals talked about at halftime, they're getting a little bit better pressure on Thomas up front.
Except for that long run by Plumlee, they've done a nice job on every other play. And you're right, they have put more pressure on him. They've covered the receivers up a little bit better, and they've got some pressure on his face. That was a very difficult move to try to run left and throw over the linebacker who was right on him.
So the Cardinals hold for the first time tonight. They'll take over at their own 30-yard line. Graff still at quarterback with Dix and Coffey at wide receiver. Hurd and Peroy are the backs. Hook and ladder, and the Greyhounds read it well again. Another trick play tried by the Cardinals, and Hillsburg is right there to make the play.
That's a trick play that almost always works if you get the first completion. If you get it to that guy, when he pitches it out, it's usually because the corner is almost always coming up. Looked like Rattlefinger knew exactly that it was coming and went out and played that man. That was a great heads-up play by Rattlefinger. If he had done that, he'd have been on the sidelines.
And if you'll remember, it was Rattlefinger that broke up the reverse on the kickoff return. It was a pickup of 5 yards for the Cardinals. Give up the middle. Hurd breaks through for a first down. Good yardage for the fullback. And the Cardinals have their first down of the second half.
I think that's the first big play or big gain directly up the middle. And maybe they're finding some soft spots. Maybe they're finally mastering what Hillsburg is doing as far as they're jumping around here and there and everything.
5th first down of the ball game for Cardinal Newman. Dix out wide to the near side. Graff looking for Dix. Throw is a little bit low, and Dix can't hang on.
They're really giving Dix a lot of room off the ball. That's why his 2 completions have been stops up there, and this one was just a little quick out. They're giving him 12 yards in front, which I guess they're respecting his ability to get on down the field and just saying, you're not going to get behind me. I'll let you catch a ball in front, come up and make that tackle.
2nd and 10 for the Cardinals. High formation behind Don Graff. Graff looking deep for Dix. Dix can't quite get to the football as Jason Goff, number 22, is in front of him, and Dix was pushing a little bit, trying to get by him, but couldn't do it.
That's really a difficult pattern to try to get deep on somebody who starts off 12 yards deep. I just got through talking about it. I know that's a little bit of a frustration thing from the standpoint of a person who's, he kind of had it in mind. He threw the little out right before it and thinks he's going to get upfield. But when they're 12 yards to start with, guys got to fall down. It's just not going to work.
3rd and 10 for the Cardinals at their own 44. Ball's loose. Hudson loses it, still loose, and the Greyhounds have it, I believe. Yes, indeed. At the 47-yard line. I believe Rich Olson came up with the football that time, number 71.
Well, they really popped. The ball just comes squirting out of there. Everybody seemed to have a chance as it went rolling by. Carl Newman now has to stop him again. They did that last time, but it's they need to do it again. Now they're starting off in their own territory.
Plumlee straight up the middle. He's got a couple of yards. Penalty marker goes down.
It's almost assuredly going to be a holding call.
Plumlee grabbing his face mask saying, did you catch that?
Where it's thrown. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. It was a face mask. Cardinal Newman played that extremely well. The linebacker saw it out, came and hit him, and there was a lot of people that followed behind. But somebody's hand got up into his face mask. Ooh, and this is a long one. It's a 15-yarder.
So the Cardinals defense has their work cut out for them again. Field position has not been in favor of the Cardinals tonight. The one time it looked like they were going to get great field position on the kickoff return, they were called for an illegal block.
Swung about a 60-yard swing, and that's really tough to make up.
Thomas sends Get in motion, pitches to Black. Black cuts in, won't get anywhere. Proy makes the tackle, and a penalty marker goes down again.
This time they're pointing at one of the Healdsburg players. I'm sure that he blocked below the waist, a crack block. In high school, you can't block below the waist on any play, the exception of the lineman right in the line, the guy right in front of him. Any place else, it's illegal. And it's really been nice because the number of knees that we've lost, or when I say lost, that have lost some ligaments and had to have surgery, while they still occur, they don't occur like they used to. That was the biggest bugaboo of all, and they've just simply taken all of the below the waist blocking out of high school ball.
So this is going to back the Greyhounds back into a 1st and 25.
When Healdsburg runs outside, they've had more effect by running under the first guy and then down a lane. If he runs all the way out.
Give is to Plumlee. He picks up 6 yards. Good pickup for Plumlee. Straight up the middle.
It looked like since it was 2nd and long, they're just going to pick some of it up and not try to get it all back at one time.
Cardinals defense digging in once again. 2nd and 17. Burchett goes out wide to the near side. Black is in the slot. Burchett motions, now doubles back the other way, and he's going to get a flag again. Same pattern as earlier. He catches it and gets a 1st down, but this is going to come back, Paul. This is exactly the same thing we saw earlier.
Exactly the same thing. Burchett starts as an end, and the man inside of him is the back, and he cannot go in motion. When he goes in motion, he makes the 5th back, and that makes an illegal set. You have to have at least 7 men on the line of scrimmage. When he left the line of scrimmage, that left Healdsburg with only 6, and they did the same mistake before. Now they can solve that with the other man that's out there. I think it was Black. If he would step forward and be on the line, what did happen is just as we called. He's wide open because of the motion, but he can't. He didn't leave enough people on the line of scrimmage when he went in motion. That was kind of interesting by the referee. I don't know if you saw it. He went to throw the flag, and it slipped out of his hand and landed right at his feet, and he was trying to throw it, and it didn't throw. He kind of fumbled the flag. No big deal, obviously.
So the Greyhounds backed into a 2nd and 22 situation now. Faubourg comes out wide to the near side. Burchett to the far side. Plumlee takes the handoff straight up the middle and picks up 12 yards. Another big run for Plumlee here in the 2nd half.
That's really interesting. I mean, he goes up there, and you see lots of white jerseys and a lot of Cardinal jerseys and everything, and yet nobody touches him. Not one hand until he's up there about 12 yards. Now he's back to 3rd and 10 situation. That's 2 times they've had 2nd and very long, and they've given it to the fullback up the middle. Interesting call. They got 12 yards out of it, so it's obviously it was a good call.
Plumlee unofficially with 14 carries and 99 yards here in the ballgame. 3rd and 10. Thomas with time. Throws for Aguilar, and it's going to be a 1st down at the 20. Pickup of 11 yards for the Greyhounds.
I think that's the same pattern he threw to Burchett just before the end of the half, in which he runs up there like he's trying to get to the goal line, and he just stops and breaks off to the sideline. We used to call this a comeback. He comes right back to the sideline and catches. There's nobody else who can get that when it's thrown like that. He barely had enough time. Either he or the ball just got tipped as he threw the ball. He didn't have as much mustard as it normally does, but it was good enough for the first. That little pattern was my favorite in high school. We used to run 3 chalk lines and then cut back to the sideline. Before you cut back, the ball was in the air, and it was easy to complete.
Pitch out to Black, cuts in, good hit, but he's got good yardage, still on his feet and gets down near the 10. It's going to be first and goal for the Greyhounds.
Well, this is just like I was talking about. Healdsburg most of the time gets their best yards when they cut under the widest guy. When they try to circle him, they haven't been successful tonight. When he went out like he was trying to cut wide, he cut underneath the first man. He got, as you said, a couple of good blocks, and he ran through some tackles. Very powerful running. They set up, they got a first down, first and goal, but they're about the worst way they could be. Look at that run. I mean, that's some power there. That young man takes off and runs.
Black again, not much there this time, as he picks up maybe a yard before he's taken down by Dan Nilsson.
Looks like Nielsen, and looks like it was Mortensen right behind him. So the center of the line, as you say, when they got down here in the past couple times, they've gone to the pass, but they've run. Black is, if I read the article right about a year ago, he's one of the people from Geyserville who should be going to the Geyserville school, but because they don't play football, he's able to come down to Healdsburg. There's about a half a dozen of the people in that situation.
3:40 to go here in the third period. Pitch out to Black. Black looking for a block from Plumlee. And he gets down inside the 5 before he's taken out of bounds by Mike Mason. Pickup of 3.
Some very impressive running there. It did look like he was trying to get a circle him. And when he found he couldn't, then he cut back underneath, and he got hit a couple times and was able to get his 4 or 5 yards out of that. He was trying to circle, didn't work, so he cut under here, right underneath, spun. And that's a tremendously heady run.
Third and goal from the 4. Burchett wide in the near side. He's got single coverage.
Burchett in the corner. Watch this.
Thomas looking over the middle. Burchett's well covered. He's got pressure from Fowler, and now he's driven out of bounds by Henley.
Actually, you know what happened there? It's just what I called the time on the last touchdown. The call, I'm sure, was the fade. And just as the ball was snapped, the defender backs out and widens on him, which meant he was wide open on a slant. If Thomas had not been doing pay action with his back to Burchett, he would have seen him wide open running on a slant. Then he ran into some traffic, and Thomas couldn't find him because the defender just backed right out of it.
Greyhounds take a timeout here. It's going to be 4th and goal from the 1. We'll take a break, and we'll be back after this.
You got your own taste, your own kind of style. There's no one like you can do what you do with that smile. What do you say, what do you say?
At Burger King, we don't serve billions. We serve individuals.
Your way, right away, at Burger King now.
Interesting to see what the Greyhounds go to right here. They're not thinking field goal. Burchett is going to go out wide to the far side this time. Covered by Peroy, one-on-one. Pitch out to Black. Where's the football? Short of the goal line. It's going to be Cardinal Newman football. I had a hard time picking up what happened with Black. I thought he was coming to the outside. Apparently he cut back in. And we'll see if we can pick up the action on the replay. Great job on defense by the Cardinals. See if we can pick up that number.
Hit.
Jeff Woods, number 23.
Oh, that was a great hit because it looked like he made a couple of beautiful cuts and was spinning and looked like he was just as he went to go in. Somebody put a serious stop on it. As you say, it turned out it was Jeff Woods. That's a great stand. But now you got troubles. You're snapping the ball into the end zone. You don't have a chance, even any room for error at all.
Cardinals will have 99 and 2/3 of a yard to go on this drive. 2:30 to go here in the third period. And this is going to be an important possession if they can get it out, because if they have to punt from back here, the Greyhounds are going to get the ball in good field position again.
The key thing here is they really need to work for one first down. I mean, the thought of getting a 99-yard drive is almost not there. If you can get one first down, then you can punt and start playing some defense. Basically, in this position, when I was coaching, I always had a quarterback sneak. I didn't want to hand off. I didn't want to get the ball deep. I wanted to just get it out where I had a yard or two to play with. And I would quarterback sneak at this particular point. You see Mr. Monahan in the huddle talking to his charges. And here's Kirkpatrick admonishing his on the sideline. He's talking to an official here. A little smile on his face. I think, well, he won't say he's counting it. He's just concerned about it. He can't believe that Black wasn't over. He's just asking him one more time, are you sure that he wasn't across that line?
Our replay showed it pretty clearly that he didn't get the end zone.
That was a good call by the officials there.
Cardinals out of the huddle. Graff still with the football, quarterback bootleg, and he picks up a couple of yards, which will give him some breathing room. He got it out to the 5. Interesting call right there.
I thought he gave it to Hurd. I was following Hurd all the way through. I thought he was going flat, but I thought it would get to Hurd. I couldn't tell. It's as far away from us as we can possibly get. We're going to see that attempt for a touchdown here. Watch this hit. You see him spin, stopped. Boy, I tell you, that was a great hit. He got some help, but he just stopped him cold.
2nd and 5 for the Cardinals. Give this time is to Mason, and Mason gets it out to about the 9-yard line, where it's going to bring up a 3rd and short for the Cardinals.
Well, they've got themselves out where they got room to punt, even if they don't make it, but they would really like to be able to get this first down here.
Have you gone yet?
3rd and a long one for the Cardinals right here. Important play for them offensively. Clock ticking down to 1:15. Graff's going to keep it again. And I believe he got the yardage necessary for a Cardinal Newman first down. Interesting call. They've used it now twice here in short yardage situations, and it's worked both times. Here it is again.
I'm not sure that he did that on purpose, but maybe he did. I mean, he came out, then he followed his blockers right on in to the play. Well, they got their first down. That was a big play for them. It's interesting. We're sitting in the corner of this booth. We almost cannot see one end of the field. And you know where they played this whole game? In that end of the field.
6th first down of the ball game for Cardinal Newman. Give is straight up the middle. Not much there.
Looks like
I believe the carry was by Hurd that time, and he got 2 yards, if that. Hurd has had 4 carries tonight for 13 yards.
It looked a little more like a rugby scrum, boy. Just a whole mass of bodies pushing forward to see which way it could go.
Cardinals now with 2nd and 8. Dix comes out wide to the near side. He's double covered by Plumlee and Goff. Graff moving things around. They will not get this play off in time as the third period comes to an end here at Bailey Field. Hillsburg leads it 14-3. We'll be back with the start of the 4th and final period after this. Lead. The Cardinals need to get some points on the board here, Paul, and they need to do it fairly soon, but they've still got a good 85 yards to go before they reach pay dirt on this drive.
They have plenty of time to do it. It's a situation is that Healdsburg hasn't been allowed them to get much together. It's been bits and pieces, and just short of this and almost that and just a barely first downs. They've got to get a little smoother here.
Rapp looking to throw. Tries to get it over the middle, and it's picked off by Van Doren. Penalty marker goes down. Van Doren gets it all the way down to about the 11-yard line. Situation again where I don't believe the receiver was quite ready for the throw.
And he threw that too soon, and boy, there was a whole bevy of white shirts in there. Just a matter of who was going to get it. There was a flag at the end of the play, but I don't think it's going to change the possession of the. You see that interception. Van Doren is the middle linebacker, so he had dropped pretty deeply to cover the tight end coming down there. I don't think the tight end ever saw the ball or saw the play.
Cardinal Newman offense is still on the field waiting for some indication from the officials, but it looks like they're talking to the Hillsburg defense.
I think you're talking to the Cardinal Newman, but the situation is that ball is turned over. It's just a matter it's going to be back under 15 yards, I believe. And
it will be Hillsburg football.
We have a multi-foul. What happened was, according to Frank's signals there, Cardinal Newman had an illegal receiver downfield. Hillsburg obviously declined that. After the interception, on the run back, Hillsburg had a block below the waist, which is what they marked the 15 yards off. So there was a penalty on each side, but one was before the turnover, one was after. They don't negate each other.
So the penalty gives the Hillsburg offense the ball at the 32, and once again, the Cardinal Newman defense has to go to work. Pitch out to Black. Cuts inside. He's got a first down. Pickup of 15 yards for Ron Black.
Well, these two guys are impressive, aren't they? They go out there, they sprint. They remind you of the great tailbacks at USC, in which they'd sprint to the sideline, and all of a sudden they see that little slot, and they just cut back and head up the field. And as they do, they run through tacklers and off of tacklers and potential tacklers and make big plays. Both of them have done the same thing. It's a very impressive looking offense.
Black with 42 yards on 9 carries. Plumlee still has 99 yards. Black again to the outside. Mason can't get him, but he's driven out by Broy at the 15-yard line. Pickup of 3.
You know, it's kind of the situation that time looked like where Cardinal Newman was just about tired of saying, I'm tired of seeing this string this out and run it inside of me. And so he kind of took a dig inside. When he did, Black took it, went outside. And I think that's the first time he's actually circling him. But it wasn't for a big gain, but it still was moving the ball towards that goal line.
Clock ticking down now at 11 minutes to go in the football game. Thomas to throw. Burchett got it at the 2. Great pass, great catch. Hillsburg has it, first and goal.
I tell you, everything they're doing is right now. He threw it to Burchett. Burchett caught the ball on the 2, but he could have thrown it to Plumlee. Plumlee was at about the illegal receiver downfield as a call. So they're going to bring this one back. But Plumlee was out in the flat about half the distance that Burchett was, and he was wide open. There wasn't anybody around him. They just didn't see him coming out of the backfield.
Big penalty right there is going to back them up into a 2nd and 13 situation. So Cardinals dodge a bullet right there. They need to get the football back. They really can't afford to give up any points on this
no, they
possession.
Can't. Not, especially the way their offense is moving. They can't afford to. That was obviously an 18-yard swing. Instead of being on the 2-yard line, it's on the 20.
Thomas pitches to Black. Black has 7 yards. Just another straight sweep, student body right, so to speak, and it's working very well right now, and it's eating up the clock.
That's right. That's 2 things it's doing. It is moving the ball. The other thing is it's keeping the clock running, and the more time the clock runs, we can see this out here. Black runs hard. The back look at that. He ran through 2 tacklers. Clay Mortenson's an outstanding tackler, and Jim Caruso is also there, and he ran right through both of their arms. And like I say, they're very good football players. He runs hard.
and 6 right here for Hillsburg. Big play defensively for the Cardinals. Thomas to throw. He's got some pressure. Still rolling. Throws back across. Headed for Burchett and incomplete. Good pressure that time by number 69, Jason Bowman for the Cardinals.
Not only good pressure, they had great coverage downfield. That's the same pattern that they completed going the other way. But this time, somebody was on Black halfway. Somebody was on Burchett. He had no place to go. Thomas did the smart thing. He threw this ball out of the end zone. He wasn't aiming for anybody. He just wanted to not get sacked back there and be able to go for 4th and 6. I think they're going to set up for a field goal here.
This will be a 30-yard field goal attempt by Aguilar. He's made both his extra points tonight. This would give them a 14-point lead. Thomas is the holder. And the kick is good. 2 field goals tonight for both squads. This one a 30-yarder for Gabe Aguilar. And the Greyhounds lead it now 17-3 with 9:38 to go.
He just made that look very easy. He just reached up there and kicked that and went right up and through. Hillsburg seems like, you know, we talked earlier about the fact that they have one quarterback right after another. I can't remember when Hillsburg didn't have a good field goal kicker. I don't know what they do with that either. A couple of years ago when I had that all-star team, that we had our kicker from Hillsburg, and he was an outstanding kicker. He could do everything. And it was kickoff and the field goals, extra points, and it was just really quite a weapon.
So the Cardinals trail by 2 touchdowns. 9:38 left on the clock here at Bailey Field. And the one thing they'd like to get right here is some field position out of this kickoff. They haven't had it in the entire second half.
I can't remember it being in Hillsburg's territory. Not since the first drive in the ball game.
The only points on the board for Cardinal Newman, a 40-yard field goal by David Wisely. Good kick, headed for Hurd all the way back at the 7. Looking for some blocking, gets out to the 22-yard line, and that's it. Cardinals will start on their own 22.
Aguilar crossed him up and kicked the ball deeper than he had normally kicks it. And the wedge set up too far in front, and Hurd never could get back to it. So as their particular problem from the very beginning, I mean, as long as we can remember, they have poor field position to start this drive.
Dix has it. Out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Pickup of 6.
Hillsburg, at least tonight, is playing the receivers on both sides, playing them off safe distance, letting them catch the ball in front of them, making the sure tackle. Especially now, that's a good action, because it's going to take a lot of those to get 2 touchdowns and catch up.
Good pattern by Dix. Graff now 3 of 9 for 23 yards in the ball game tonight. Cardinals are going to have to move the ball down the field quickly. They need to get 2 scores. Croy, left side, cuts in, and is stuffed by Chris Fink, number 55. Good hit by the Greyhounds. I believe he's going to be a little bit short of the first down.
Greyhound linebackers have done a terrific job. As you say, there's a lot of movement. They move around between he and Van Doren. They don't get blocked very often, and they come in a hurry. They're going to tell a timeout for a measurement. That's how close it is.
My first impression was that it was a little bit short, but we'll see right here as they stretch the chains, and it looks like he is going to be just short, about 8 inches.
7.5.
So a big 3rd down play right here. Cardinals definitely need the first down out of this one. Hurd and Woods in the backfield. Hurd has the first down. Pickup of 3 for the Cardinals.
other key situation like that in the first drive, Cardinal Newman came up and on a long count got Healdsburg to jump off sides. It gave him the first down by a penalty. That time, Healdsburg got to moving around, but they didn't cross the line. So Newman did snap the ball and had fullback for the first down.
Cardinals with their 7th first down tonight. Healdsburg has 13 first downs in this game. Hurd straight up the middle. Football's loose. Did he get it back? Yes. Very close to turning the ball over again to the Greyhounds in their own territory.
You know, it's one of the things that we saw last year and earlier. The Cardinal Newman, well, you know, maybe not had a flashy offense, but what they did was they very seldom turned the ball over. And we've seen the ball floating around tonight. They've had a couple of interceptions and a couple of fumbles, and some fumbles they recovered, but the ball is out there on the ground.
2nd and 10. Graff rolling right, looking across the field for Vera. He can't quite catch up to this one. Graff is dropped after the throw.
Jesse Warren, an outside linebacker, came up to put some pressure on the Graff, and one of the backs came up to block him, and he hit him and just knocked him back on his big numbers. I mean, there was a heck of a collision. Graff was able to get around, but he was trying to make that run that throw on the run. That being said, watch Warren come up here. Watch this. Boom. The guy just goes right back. And trying to make that long throw on a run is very, very difficult to do. Vera had a small opening, but it would have been a heck of a pass.
3rd and 10. They need to get to the 45. Draw play. Nothing doing there. Great defense up front by Crest Bank with some help from Jason Gett.
It was interesting defense. On a 3rd and 10, it looked like an obvious passing situation. Healdsburg shows double coverage on the outside receivers, and just at the snap of the ball, the underneath guy just takes off and runs as fast as he can, and he times it up, and he's on an outside blitz at the time. If he would have gone back to throw, I think he'd have eaten the football. Instead, it was a draw call, and the rest of the inside read it very, very well. So Cardinal Newman's going to have to punt here.
Could it have been that they were thinking 4 downs there if they maybe get 5 or 6 yards on the draw?
I'm sure that's in your mind when you have this little time left and you're 2 touches down. Now they took too much time.
Delay of game marching off against the Cardinals.
That was probably a situation where they're on the sidelines trying to figure out, do we or don't we go for this? It's a hard decision. It's not like a give up, but at the same time, if you don't make it 15 yards, which is not an easy thing to make, you turn the ball over in scoring position. And yet, when you punt, everybody in the stands said, well, you're not trying to win. That's a tough decision at this point. Oh, especially with that center. He's got trouble.
Snap. He gets off
nice
a kick.
Job. What a nice job.
Wisely, amazingly, gets off a kick there and boots it out to about the 40-yard line, where the Greyhounds will take over. Only a 15-yard punt, but that could have been much, much worse. And we will pause now for station identification.
You're watching TNC Channel.
Well, maybe not. We'll have to wait till after this play right here. 2nd and 10. Black goes in motion. Give is to Plumlee. Plumlee over 100 yards now in the game as he picks up 4 on that carry. Incredible job by David Wisely. That could have been just about turn out the lights right there, huh, Paul?
It sure could have. It was interesting when we were off there. I thought that they'd come out and run the ball wide and eat up the clock in the very first play. They throw the ball down the sideline as far as they can and just miss Rattlefinger.
Shuttle pass. Football's loose, but I believe the Greyhounds got it back.
It's an incomplete
They're going to call
pass.
it incomplete.
He's going to say he didn't have enough. He didn't have it long enough to have a completion. I kind of like that play. Sometimes it just busts so clear. That time somebody from Cardinal Newman reached out and hit the receiver just about the time the ball was coming to him.
4th and about 7 now for the Greyhounds. Aguilar will punt. Dropping back deep is Mark Vera, number 89 for the Cardinals.
Well, it looks like they're going to come after this. They got 10 men up there. A nice job.
Kick angles toward the sidelines and will kick out of bounds at the 11. Nice job by Aguilar. The Cardinals once again are backed up in their own territory.
Every phase of their game is where it should be. I mean, that's the first time that they've punted, and you don't want a big punt out there, and the kid just had enough moxie to take the ball and punch at it and kick it out of bounds about the 12-yard line. I mean, that's something high school people just can't do. And Healdsburg they run play after play after play like that. I am so impressed by their program and their play. They play the game the way it should be played.
Greyhounds came into tonight ranked number 7 in the state for all Division III high schools. And the way things are going here tonight, they haven't done anything to live that down. Graff in trouble, gets away, but will be hit for a loss.
All he did there was turn a big loss into a little loss. He just escaped there. The outside linebacker, Werney was on a blitz, and he just missed him. Graff was able to elude him, but he came up and got back very close to the line of scrimmage before he was just bombarded with a whole host of Greyhounds.
Greyhounds have played a very impressive game tonight defensively, Paul.
Well, like I say, they played the impressive game all the way around. Defensively, offensively, kicking game, all phases. Been just very impressed by them.
Cardinal Newman takes a timeout here with 4:30 to go in the ball game. We'll take a break and be back in just a moment.
You got your own taste.
Out. Throws it complete for a first down. Good pattern by Scott Kincaid. And one of the bigger pass plays of the night for Cardinal Newman as they pick up 13 yards.
Graff is kind of going to a little bit of a roll to get away from that rush of the Healdsburg. And that was the comeback pattern in which he went down and broke to the sideline. It was a perfect pass for a first down.
Clock still moving. 4:11 to go. Graff looking deep for Dix. Throws it beyond him. There's a penalty marker down on the near side of the field. Not sure what the call is going to be. Thrown in the direction of Dustin Fry, number 17.
I thought it's going to be a defensive holding charge, which should be an automatic first down for the 5-yard penalty, automatic first down for Cardinal Newman. And it happened on this side. They threw all the way up on the other side.
Time definitely working against the Cardinals right here as they still need 2 scores.
You were talking about Healdsburg being number 7 ranked in the state in that particular level. Actually, number 5 team is also from this area, Sonoma. Both of them play in the SCL, and I understand Sonoma's an outstanding team. It should be one heck of a game when the two of them get together and play. It'll probably be for the SCL championship.
First down gives the Cardinals the ball at their own 35-yard line. That's the throw down the right side to Coffey, and he's got it all the way down at the 40. Pickup of 25 yards. Big play for the Cardinals offensively.
That was a pretty pass. It's just sort of like reminiscent of a couple of games ago. Graff looks like at one time maybe that he doesn't throw so well, and then he hits the passes right on the money. That was a beautiful pass, right in the hole between the linebacker and the cornerback. right where the man can make an easy reception.
Here it is again.
Why don't you give him a little time? That's perfect. Perfect reception.
Graff to Dix. He's got it. Sliding catch. First down at the 26. Pickup of 12 more for the Cardinals.
I think you gave the stats a little while ago. He had 3 for 9 with a couple of interceptions, and since that time, I think he's completed 3 or 4 out of 5. I think he's only missed 1 in the last 5 passes, and he looks very good. Comes up, pulls inside of that pocket, and hits Dix, who's curled up in that zone.
Clock ticking down now to 3:12 and moving. He's got time again, in and out of the hands of Jeff Woods.
That ball was just a little bit out of his hands. He had a shot at it, but it would have been a great catch by Woods there on the sideline. It was a nice play. Nobody but Woods had a shot at that ball.
.303 to go, fourth period. Cardinals trying to make the comeback. They need a score right here. Obviously an onside kick and another touchdown. It will truly take an amazing comeback. Guerra over the middle. Close to another first down.
One thing that Healdsburg's doing is making them go a long way. They're not giving up any easy plays, but Newman is able to find the holes and complete the passes, and they keep moving the sticks. This is the first time they've done that since the first quarter. And Healdsburg's not really playing a prevent defense. They're just playing it nice and soft and allowing to throw those balls. And they say he's completed quite a few here.
12 first downs. Now in the game for Cardinal Newman. They're at the 12. Graff to throw again. Rolling right. Looking for Dix. Great defense that time by Scott Rattlefinger. Terrific job by Rattlefinger all night tonight, and he makes another big play on defense.
It's a one-on-one battle in the corner, and Rattlefinger just played it perfectly. The ball was thrown in a great spot. Dix would have caught that or nobody, and he just threw it down low and away from him. But Rattlefinger was right there and made it a very difficult proposition.
.231 to go. Greyhound fans cheering on their defense here. Graff rolling right, looks for Vera. Vera's got it, breaks a tackle, and scores! 12-yard touchdown pass from Graff to Mark Vera. And the Cardinals get on the board here with 2:22 to go to make it 17-13. Or excuse me, that's going to make it 17-9. Looks like they're going to go for 2.
Mark Vera is an outstanding athlete who went to the state wrestling championships last year as a junior. He came out for football this year, and he has been an outstanding. The 2 games I've seen, he's been an outstanding tight end. He's really cut the ball, and what he did that time, not only did he make a nice catch, it was a terrific run afterwards. He got hit, turned back inside, broke a tackle, and made it into the end zone.
Cardinals looking for 2 right here. Impressive drive.
Ed's going for the win right now. I mean, two touchdowns in 7. It's just a tie. He's going right this second for the win.
Graff throws to Coffey. Incomplete. Penalty marker down in the end zone. We've had a lot of flags tonight. See what this one is. It's going to be against the Greyhounds.
So defensive pass interference is a strange call, or because it was a late call. Not so much what it was just how late he threw it.
Here's the touchdown again.
Look at that. That was a great catch, and like I say, he came off of that, broke the tackle, and went in. The guy from across the way threw it, and he threw it in a funny place. So that was a strange play. So Newman gets another shot at it here.
Woods, the lone back behind Graff. Coffey in motion. Graff rolling right. Looks for Hurd. He's into the end zone. It's 17-11. Cardinals not done yet tonight. 2:22 on the clock. And a very, very impressive drive.
It's funny how football goes. In the beginning of the game, it looked like they were never going to stop Newman. Then they stopped him and stopped him for about 2.5, 3 quarters. Newman couldn't get a first down even, let alone a drive. Now when they really needed it, they went the length of the field with some beautiful plays and throws and catches and able to make the 2-point extra point. And now there's not probably a single person in this whole stadium that doesn't realize that we got an onside kick coming up. And Healdsburg has their hands team in. Everybody's a 40, a 20, a teen number. You see Burchett up there, Rattlefinger up there, Black up there. Get their corner. Everybody that's up there has a receiver hand because they're expecting 9 men up there in front. They have just one. They must have 10 up front.
David Wisely to kick it.
You practice these all the time, and you do it, and you do it, and you do it, and in a game at the adrenaline, it just never works quite right. Ooh.
Kicks it past the front line and back into the back for the Greyhounds, and they take it at the 35. Kicked it a little bit further than he wanted to that time. Yeah. Penalty marker down late.
Somebody's pushing and shoving or mouthing off in there, but that was interesting. I'm not sure if that was if he missed the kick or if that's what he was intending on doing, but it went around him, and this is going to be on Healdsburg. It looks like the way the referees are facing.
Only 2 seconds ticked off the clock, so it's not out of the realm of possibilities to stop them on 3 downs and get the football back and try to score.
Now, a kickoff, the clock doesn't start until the defensive team touches the ball, and they didn't touch the ball until they were actually they fell on it. So there wasn't much that should have clicked off the clock at that time. But they pushed themselves back after, so it's going to be 1st and 25. The chances are Newman's going to get the ball back. Now this is a tough situation for Healdsburg. Do you try to get the first down and throw? Because if you throw it on the ground, the clock stops. Or you do run the ball and eat up as much of the clock as you possibly can.
Plumlee and Black behind Thomas. Pitches to Black. Black tries to get to the outside. Great block from Jason Gett, and Black has some good yardage.
It's good yardage, but it's a technical error. He went out of bounds. I'm sure that Tommy would have much preferred him to stay inbounds and gotten a few less yards because the clock stopped, and they would like to be seeing it running right now.
Pick above 11. It's going to make it 2nd and 14. Clock stopped at 1:54 to go in the game. Pitch to Black again, right side. Pickup of about 6 yards with the Cardinals taken down at the 38-yard line. Black's had a good second half, Paul.
He really has. He's obviously had some great blocking out there, but he just comes out, he stretches it as far as he can and then cuts back underneath that block and gets the positive yards. He got almost 10 yards on that play. It's 3rd and 6.
We're now down to 1:20. Clock ticking.
Look, see, Thomas is watching the clock. Look at him. He's waiting, and now he takes the snap.
Pitch to Black. Dropped by Nilsson at the 42. It's going to be 4th down, so the Greyhounds
Newman should call a timeout if they have one here. If they have one left. I don't know where the timeouts stand.
And they do take one here with 57 seconds to go. It's 17-11. We'll take a break and be back after this.
Still going to have to go down and score, but it's just how important that play was where Healdsburg, somebody was mouthing off or pushing late, As they would have easily made 10 yards the way they went, but first and 25 was just a little bit more than they could handle.
Aguilar to punt. Vera drops back deep. Good snap. Low line drive kick. Vera takes it and drops to a knee. It's going to be down at the 25. Tough break because he had some room to run.
Cardinal Newman chose not to try to block the punt. They just tried to hold everybody up at the line of scrimmage as long as they possibly could. It looked like it was going to work. The punt was low. There was nobody coming down the field. Unfortunately, Vera had to step forward and lost his footing, and his knee went down. So they have 75 yards to go, and just about a minute plus to go.
Clock is ticking. Down under 50 seconds. Graff straight back to pass. He's got time. Looking deep. Down the middle. Intercepted by Jeff Burchett. Burchett back to the 40. Down to the 35. Still on his feet at the 30. And down inside the 20. Still on his feet. Penalty marker goes down. Burchett with the play of the game gets it down inside the 14 with just 28 seconds to go.
That guy's body is not big enough to hold his heart. What an amazing critter. I mean, what he did was intercept the ball, which sealed the game for Healdsburg. What a lesser person might have done is take that and just simply go down or run it back. He busted and twisted and went after it like the whole world depended on him getting to the goal line. I'm so impressed by that young man. Look at him.
Here it is again.
It's amazing. Watch this run. You won't see many better than this. That's good enough what he just did, but watch this determination.